Welcome back, Commanders. I'm Steve, and this is Command Centre Wargaming. All right, fantastic. So it looks like the big man has been revealed. I'm going to go through, give you some of my thoughts on Abaddon, the new Abaddon model, finally. And let me just say that, no matter what they would have released, I think it would have been better than what we had. So, I got my little trifles here and there with it. For the most part, I really like it. But, from what we had to what we got now, I'm not going to complain. You know what I mean? A lot of people have been saying to me, Steve, can you give us your opinion on the Abaddon model and everything? And I'm just like, yep, cool, 100%. I wanted to do it earlier, but I had to work. So for those of you who subscribed, thanks so much for subscribing. Welcome aboard. I try to get on top of stuff extremely quickly, but sometimes you just got to work. I got to work so I can give you prizes, yeah? Awesome. So that's where the prize draw stuff comes from, right? We don't get shipments from GW. I pay for that and I have to work. So sometimes if I'm a couple of hours late on a release, please forgive me. All good. And fantastic. So look, also as well, just to let you know about our 700 subscriber draw that's happening on the weekend of the 10th of this week, so 10th of March 2019. All right, so it's an Australian Sunday. You can still comment on the entry video. All right, so I'll put the link down below in the description and also in the comments of this video. All you got to do there is basically be a subscriber of the channel and type your name in the comments there and you enter the draw. All right, we basically go through, we calculate the comments and everything like that, and we do giveaways. We also have a Shadow Spear giveaway coming up as well. It's not released yet, but we're definitely going to do it because we're able to get to 700 subscribers pretty fast. So awesome. Welcome aboard, everybody. Also as well, in light of the Shadow Spear box set coming, I've started doing some paint formulas for Mad Ultramarine, Dr. Steve's special recipe of Ultramarine Blue, and also Black Legion. So I'm going to be doing some tutorials on those. So yeah, hopefully by the time Shadow Spear comes out, my formula should be ready, and I should be able to get you some awesome tutorials up on there. How to get your Ultramarines or your Black Legion looking schmick. I could probably even start the Black Legion ones now because I've got the models there from the the Blackstone Fortress. But anyway, so let's go through, let's have a look at the Abaddon model. I'm not going to go read through all this kind of stuff. I'll put the link to the article down below. Usually I will if it's like a new release, but considering it's been out for a few hours now, I'm not going to go through every single piece of writing in there. I'm just going to give you some of my opinions on it, and I do have quite a large array of opinions on this, and I love that. So I'm going to be straight up with you. That Billy from the Predator, with, what was it, Mac? Who had the minigun in Predator? Arnold had it, but I think, was it Billy? Billy was the guy who, yeah, and then there was, I think it was Blaine or Mac had the minigun when they were mowing it down the front. Anyway, I was calling this a Mac Marine, and this model alone, before I was tossing it up, I was like, should I do a Black Legion army? Should I not do a Black Legion army? And I wanted to do like a little force, couple them up with my Alpha Legion. There's also a tutorial of that on the channel, guys. Check the playlist as well. And, and then I saw this model and I'm just like, I'm sold. I love this model. I love the Gatling guns. And, this guy, look at the bullets. He's got a double feed going through it, So it's kind of it's awesome. It's that over-the-top design style from Games Workshop. The Space Marine had 2 knives. This guy's got 2 ammo belts feeding into his Gatling cannon, or assault cannon, whatever you want to call it. I think it's safer to call this a Gatling cannon. Because it's it looks more like the Gatling cannons from the Redemptor Dreadnoughts and the Repulsors and things like that. So I like it how Chaos are getting some new tech, but it's not, it's nothing too crazy. So they're still sort of using what they have, but they're very brutal. Their technology is very raw, but it's still very powerful as well. So anyway, look, that's enough of that because we want to talk about Abaddon, right? That's what this video is about. I could go through and make a whole nother video of that later. Let's play this video now. Stuff it. Yeah. Going for the war. Yeah, it's gonna rock up. You tell him, Abby, with your awesome voice. Look, see, he rocks up and there's nukes going off already. Just by Abaddon appealing, there's nukes going off. So I quite like the model. I wasn't so sure about it at first, but it's really growing on me. I think I'm not one to be like that where I have models slowly grow on me. I usually like them or I don't, but this model here, yeah, like it's growing on me a lot, so it's awesome. So I'll just stop that now. I won't talk too much about that because I was saying before, like, you know, most people have seen it already. So let's just go through this model, shall we? So I'm going to click on it to maximize it here. Hopefully my head's not cutting it off too much, but that's it. So, all right, the first thing that I think about when I see this model is 1, 2, Abaddon's coming for you. 3, 4, Abaddon's coming, knocking at your door. Okay, like Freddy Krueger. Like the glove, the gauntlet, the pose, even the face. The first thing when I saw this model and I saw the baby face was just like, oh my goodness, it's like Freddy Krueger, but without all the pizza face, you know, melted skin and stuff like that. So, I don't know, it just reminds me of Freddy Krueger. Maybe it's the gauntlet, right? So the mitt, the talon of Horus, I don't know. But it just has that pose. It's, you know, I kind of see Freddy Krueger going like that, which probably wouldn't surprise me because, you know, Games Workshop always usually go through, you know, like models and look at other references for that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, also, I'm not sure what that's meant to be. Is that meant to be like a wing from like a, you know, a Saint Celestine or, you know, something like that? I don't know. Is that a sheet of just some random torn apart sheet of iron? I'm not quite sure. I'm cool with it. It's good to see this Space Marine Lieutenant on the ground just smashed up. I really like the paint job of that Marine there as well, like the weathering and stuff like that. It's really cool. I think these sort of like, you know, torches here, I think they're a little bit unnecessary, right? To be honest, I wasn't a fan of them on the Gilliman model, and I'm less of a fan of them here. I just think they're unnecessary. They're extra detail that you kind of don't need. And it just feels a little bit out of place for me, you know? We could just leave it off. It's no big deal, but, you know, it's just what I'm thinking. I'm liking the way his armor's updated a little bit as well. So, you know, he's got sort of like these side armor pieces here, you know, and, you know, he's got his wrestling belt in the middle there, you know, WWF Cadia Destruction Champion. And then, you know, you've got some skulls and some faces and that going on the sword and on his armor, which is fair enough. I mean, you'd expect a little bit of that from Chaos, Black Legion. They've got to have something. You know, he's not as detailed, he's not as packed up with stuff as what I thought, which is honestly really good. You know, like a lot of the Death Guard stuff that came out, and I love the Death Guard stuff. I've got like a whole army of Death Guard. The new models, but like some of them, they were a little bit overdone in areas sometimes, you know, with the 50 sort of flies stuck on things and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, you know, if I wanted flies on stuff, I could always convert it on. But really, you know, there's a line between a well-designed model, you know, and a, you know, with features, okay, and then just a model with just crap just stuck on it just for the sake of, you know, sticking crap on it. And yeah, I think that like a really good analogy for those would be the new Blood Angels. Not new now, they came out around about Christmas. The Blood Angels Leviathan Dreadnoughts from Forge World. The way they were painted up, the way they were presented, they just had the right amount. I think Giuseppe painted those. It just had the right amount of detail for the unit without going over the top. You know, you had your blood drop here and there, you had your eagle here and there, but it wasn't just like blinged up with like, you know, 100 things. It was just sort of like spot on. So that's the other thing I like about the model. I think it strikes that sort of medium between, you know, detailed but not overly, you know, colluded with stuff. At first, like, you know, like I've commented on the channel a few times before, and, you know, you sort of know that, like, I'm not massive on the Chaos spikes, but I actually think they work here. I really think they work here on Abaddon. At first, I was a little bit sort of like, oh, I don't know about this. What's this sort of thing here, this rack of spikes? But it's kind of grown on me a little bit now. And, you know, it's kind of like his trophy rack, you know, and he had it as the first model. He's always had it. So, you know, it's in the books. It fits within the fluff. So he should have the option of putting it on there, whether you model it on or not. You know, I mean, you can choose not to put it on. So it's not a massive deal. Like, it's not a massive deal at all. You know, and you can leave it off. So it's fine. And you're still going to keep roughly the same height, because, you know, you've got the sword there and that. But I'm wondering scale-wise. So there's a picture down the bottom. We have a look at some scale. But I'm wondering, like, you know, if they say he's almost as big as a Primarch, but I don't know, like, from his silhouette here, his model looks almost as big as Gilliman, like the 40k Gilliman model. So I'll have to check that out. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm really liking the extra detail here, but without, you know, the, you know, sort of like the over busyness of it. You know, you've got kind of like these little sharp points coming out, but nothing too crazy. I'm not sure what that is on his head. Maybe it's some kind of like augmentation. And one thing I really do like, I like the cape. And I like how it's got kind of like those, you know, feathers or the furs going from the shoulder pad all around the cape as well. It kind of reminds me of a Warhammer Fantasy Chaos Warrior. And I really love those guys. And it's awesome to see some more of that coming into 40k as well. You know, so yeah, I mean, you could definitely see it's from the Black Legion. You have the opportunity to have him fit into the army with the new models, you know, with the new designs around his armor and things, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, his well-sized base, it looks like it's going to be a big model. You know, the Talon of Horus is, I like that pose with the Talon. I think it was better than just like the one that it was before. Like, you look at that one from before and it's like, what is he doing? You know, like, is he shooting magic or something? But here, it's like he's actually like, you know, it's almost as if he's like just, you know, drove him into someone and now he's like looking at him. Personally, when I paint my one up, I'm going to put blood. I'm going to put blood for the Blood God all over those Edward Scissorhands, Freddy Krueger gauntlets. They're going to look awesome, right? You know, he's got his double bolt gun here, which is cool, or storm bolt or whatever it is. And his ammo feed here is bullets. Now, what I reckon is really cool about these bullets here on this ammo feed is it's more towards, you know, to the credit of the painter. But there's actually like different color bullets tips here on the ammo casings. So it's like, you know, it's chaos. So there's just like slap all the bullets in. You know, and who cares if they match or not? Just slap them all in, and just as long as they shoot out the gun, like, who cares? Like, I think that's awesome because it sort of sets that, you know, contrast with, you know, between Marines and Chaos, where like Marines will rock up, polish their armor, keep it like, you know, pristine all the time, you know, pray 14 times in the morning, the Emperor, pray 14 times in the evening for the Emperor when they're not in battle. You know, they'll go clean their armor in their spare time. Whereas Chaos, you know, everything's got to be like cookie cutter, you know, polished. Where like, you know, Chaos are literally just like, grab it, can it shoot, let's use it. You know, they won't care. They'll basically go and, you know, I mean, what was it? The Chaos Terminators, the World Eaters, you know, I think it was them, and it was either World Eaters or Word Bearers, and basically what it is the only way that they can get Terminator armor is by slaying someone in it. And what they do is, when they slay a Marine in Terminator armor, they'll take the Terminator armor and they'll rip the Marine out of it, squish him up, or send him off to the, you know, the Flesh Forge or whatever, or worse. And then like they'll take the Terminator armor like that, and then they'll start adding all like, you know, the Chaos stuff to it, you know. And it's interesting, you know, because it's like that's the way that they're able to, you know, get a hold of Terminator armor, because it's very precious to them, because they don't have the same, you know, manufacturing ability that, you know, that Space Marines do, Loyalists do, but they're basically, you know, they're stronger because they have more experience. They're more veteran in battle and all that kind of stuff, you know? So it's pretty cool. Yeah, so awesome. So we're just going to go down here a bit. Let's have another look at the Gauntlet. All right, we can see here, you know, you've got that Freddy Krueger-ness of the Gauntlet here. And I love the way they've left it open. So if you want to do some positions, a little bit of conversions there, we can, which is pretty cool. And, you know, we've got the sword here. Like, I really do hope, that's one thing I will say about Abaddon. I really do hope they change the rules. The rules at the moment are a little bit lackluster. You know, we need to bring his sword back to the heyday, you know, where it was like alphaing vehicles and stuff, you know. So, you know, let's give this guy some updated rules, you know. If we've got Calgar running around on, like, you know, what was it, 8 wounds or something like that, then, you know, or whatever it was, then, you know, let's give Abaddon something. Let's give him, you know, give him a few wounds there. I mean, he can't be more than Gilliman though, so, you know, but yeah, he needs new rules, essentially. That's what I'm trying to say. Here's a size comparison. So it's pretty big. I'm just thinking Gilliman's probably like not much bigger than that. So, you know, he'd probably end up looking a bit bigger if his sword was up a bit. But if you count the spikes into it, like, he'd probably even be bigger than Gilliman. So that's pretty brutal. And then we have the back here. Now, the back of the model is looking absolutely fantastic. I absolutely adore this back piece. This sort of, like, you know, hexagonal back piece. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. The way the painting's been done, the edge highlighting, the mix of whites and blues, and the layering there on the gauntlets are fantastic as well. You really love that. Really love that part. We'll just have a look. Here we go. Here's the, you know, here's a torch again. Again, not a fan. I think I'll leave that off the model when I do my one. Some fantastic detail here, like some kind of like power pack or something that's basically leading into the damaged hoses. It makes me wonder why, like, they have that damaged hose. Like, why don't they just have the metal there? Why even bother putting the rubber on it if they're going to let it, like, decay like that? But whatever, it's fantastic. Here you can see, like, some detail on that shoulder pad. And, yeah, he's crushing that ultramarine down there. Yeah, some lovely work there. Liking it. Even here, I like how Games Workshop are going, and they're, you know, they're expanding on their edge highlighting a little bit. You know, adding the nicks and knacks to it and stuff like that, which is just quite nice to see. So, yeah. All right. So now, look, I want to get into this. This is going to be the centerpiece of the review. And it's something that I really, really wanted to talk about. You know, when I woke up this morning and I saw this for the first time, I think I was half asleep, and I got up. I saw it a couple of hours later because Australian time, and I looked at it. I saw it on my phone, and I'm like, looked at it. I'm just like, and I just saw that face, and I was just like, nah. I started laughing. I turned my phone off. I went back to sleep. I got up for work. You know, went to work after that. But I just saw it, and I just went, nah. And then it's kind of like, the face is something, like, I'm digging the model all around, but something just isn't selling me about the face. Like, it's pretty much the Gilliman face, really, without the hair. It really looks like they've gone through, they've got Gilliman's face and changed the pose a little bit, changed the mouth a little bit, and then painted him with some mascara or something like that, and then chucked it in there. Yeah, he looks like an old man. I suppose he might be, but Freddy Krueger, you know, and like, I reckon they should have put some more damage on him, like burns and stuff like that. You know, like, this guy's meant to be chaos. He just looks like an old dude. You know, looks like the guy's 90 years old. He's going to get his wheelchair and, like, you know, ride out there and that. So, you know, it's just me. But I mean, I suppose, look, that's where we come in. That's where we can, like, you know, sculpt it on, green stuff it on, use our good old modeling knives and, like, you know, carve that info in, so into his face. So that's pretty much, you know what I mean, like, the go. And I guess, you know, looking at that, I would have rather them leave it open and blank like that, so it leaves us the option to do stuff with it, and to convert the model up and around, which is pretty awesome. And then we've got sort of this mask. Now, I don't like either of these heads. I'll just be straight up. This looks like he's, I don't know, he looks like he's got wolf's teeth or something, like he's a vampire. Like I said, the head to me looks like Gilliman, the Gilliman model. This one here just looks like, I like that one maybe a bit better, I don't know, but it's still really plain. Okay, and I would go for this mask here, but
I don't know, something about this mask here just doesn't, like, I don't know, it doesn't resonate with me, like, either. So, although it looks better, there's something about it. I don't like it. You know, the shape, like the way it is, it kind of looks like something I can't say on YouTube, to be honest. You know, and there's kids watching, so I'm not going to say it, but I don't like that mask, you know. They could have put a little bit more thought into this. You know, and, you know, less thought on the wrestling belt, more thought on the actual, you know, mask. It's okay. But look, I'll be honest, when I get him, I think I'm going to use maybe the head from, like, another model. If anyone's got any suggestions on what head I could use to convert this over from this guy's head in the box, let me know. Like, if you think there's a good Chaos head in any of the kits. I'm probably just going to grab the head from the Commander and then whack the normal head on this guy. Either that, or I'm just literally going to go to town on this guy's face and literally burn it with a lighter or something like that, and, you know, just create some kind of like Toxic Crusader burnt Freddy Krueger thing, you know. So, but we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to discuss the faces a little bit with you because, you know, in my thoughts, they're not that great. But look, you know, let me know in the comments down below, guys, what you think. Okay, guys and girls, what you think about it. You know, do you like the head? Do you not like the head? You know, so am I losing it again? You know, so now the next piece. So that's pretty much all really I have to say for Abaddon. I'll just wrap up on Abaddon. I like the model. I think it's good. And like I said at the start of the video, like, is it a perfect model? No. Is it the best release they've done? I don't think it would. It's not as good as the Gilliman one, you know, but that's subject to opinion. I'm more excited about the Shadowspear box, the actual Marines in it, the Librarian, I'll be honest with you. But I can now field a Black Legion War Master without being laughed at on the battlefield because my Tau is nearly as big as their War Master. Right? So I'm happy. I'm happy about this model. I think it looks great. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'll be buying it. I might even do a giveaway on the channel. All right, maybe this could be the prize for a painting competition. See how we go. You know, and that's it. So I'm pretty happy with it. You know, let me know what you think about the Abaddon model. Do you like it? Do you think there could have been some improvements? Let me know what you think. Okay, because I play Chaos. I'm a Chaos brother, but I'm predominantly a loyalist. But I've got many Chaos armies, and you know, and I'm liking it. But I'd like to hear, you know, from some of the Chaos specific fanatics, people who have been like hanging out for this model, like, you know, for the last 10 years, going, oh my God, give me an Abaddon. I'd love to hear from you guys. So then we got the Vigilance Ablaze book coming out, the second book in the Vigilance campaign, and you can see here it's got Abaddon leading the way with all his minions underneath, and I believe I'm seeing a Terminator. I don't know if anyone spotted that out, but that looks like Terminator armor to me, right in the fore of that book. So, you know, I could be going blind again, guys, but that's looking like Terminator. All right. So I'll just read this part because I'm not sure about what's going on with the Vigilance book. So, all right. So anybody, if you want to tune out now, if you don't want to hear me go on about the Vigilance book, I'll catch you in the next video. Otherwise, I'm going to read on from here. So Vigilance now stands on the precipice of annihilation as the war for control over the Nekmun Gauntlet enters its next phase. Chaos has arrived in force on Vigilance, spearheaded by the Black Legion itself, hardened by millennia of relentless combat and fresh from blood-soaked subjugations in the Imperial Nihilists. They are a force of nightmares, combine the ancient might of Space Marine legions with unspeakable and unholy gifts. And here we go. We've got some awesome artwork here, and it's very interesting. There's a few of these things floating around in the background. Again, Terminator. You know, so I don't know if they're going to be Justarian Terminators, but they're Terminators just the same. Maybe this is old artwork. Maybe I'm missing something here. These do look like tactical Marines, possibly up the front. But, you know, so, yeah. All right. Where the previous Imperium Nihilist book focused on the varied forces of the War of the Beasts, Vigilance Ablaze is all about chaos, bringing to life the vast and myriad forces gathered to annihilate this once impregnable world. A wealth of rules, content will expand your options for Chaos armies enormously. Note that it says Chaos armies, not just Black Legion armies. Ooh, I hope Alpha Legion gets something good. Because we need something to combat that deep strike ability and that, you know, surgical strike ability that the new Primaris from the Shadow Spear box are going to bring us. So they've got to give something from to them. So with specialist attachments, new data sheets and more, perhaps you'll strike from the skies with a pack of raptors. Boring. Yeah, we've had that. Led by Harken World Claimer. Harken the Underpowered. Or crush your foes beneath a clanking tide of Hellforge metal with hunking packs of demon engines. Yeah, okay. Shadow Spear and Abaddon are at the start of bold new era for Chaos. As those of you who've been following the Demon Engine might have guessed, there's an army of new models awaiting to be revealed, including some things you've never seen before and new takes on the new units you now know and love, like this guy, the guy that I love. What is a Havoc carrying? It looks like a Warp Smiths have been cooking up some new guns. Emperor, help us all. Stay tuned for over the next few weeks. We'll be guiding la 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 la. They're going to be talking about the Black Legion. I'll spare you that. Absolutely fantastic and awesome. So, okay, look, well, that pretty much wraps up my synopsis on Abaddon and you know, some of the new Chaos stuff in this release. And I hope you've enjoyed the video, everybody. And I'll probably get another one out by the time we do our 700 subscriber draw at the end of the week. And just like to thank all my subscribers, everybody, and all the viewers as well for helping us hit that milestone. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to stay up to date with all the Warhammer news, reviews, tactics videos, painting tutorials, all that kind of stuff, and be eligible for awesome giveaways as well. And yeah, all right, everybody, Steve, Command Centre Wargaming, and I will see you next time.